Hey y'all, I'm here with the first Iron Mine Company team draft. This is set 6, and so what we're going to do is build, draft a deck, then play against my teammates. So, this pack's got a lot of good Utera cards. Rimbark Guardian's awful, but Aetherphage, Sporelord, and Golem are very good. Sporelord being way better build round card. It's very strong. Fun Guy's a really good card too. And the Leyline Golem just being a decent creature that activates actually pretty frequently for free. Cacklebones is a card I hate in draft. It's okay in constructed, but in draft it's awful. And Alloyant Strategist is also very good. Uh, I'm actually not positive if it's better than Spoilord or worse than it. It's mostly how you want to draft. I don't like Alloyant Strategist as much as I did in the second set. I think it was it was in the second set. It was like really, really strong then because all the creatures were very small and giving everything +2 attack was really strong. But now in this format, I'd say the average creature is around like a 6/5 or something around there. And so playing a 4/5 is very weak, and it's only an 8/9 in rank 2. So you have to really get the most of its ability. So I'm going to take the Spoilord because I really like drafting plants. Torgmai Guardian is also one of my favorite cards ever. I'm going to go ahead and sort by attack, make pictures so I can see it better. Strongest card in this pack is probably Scourge Hydra, but I dislike drafting... actually, you know what? If I draft Necreum Utera, I think it's one of the worst color combinations in the current draft format because Necreum is just not very good. But my other options are one of the two Terra cards, neither of which is like amazing. They're just decent. Well, Goliath Siren's actually kind of bad, but Stegodon is decent. Or I could take Forge Plate Sentry or Aegis Conscript to be an Aloyan. If I take the Conscript, it's just a decent card. I don't like it too much. It's good for protecting cards, but it's really, really small. So you don't really want to play it that often. And Forge Plate Sentry is kind of the opposite. It starts out small and gets huge, it's really hard to kill at rank 3 with the 5 armor and 15 health. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Scourge Hydra. It gives me more opportunities to draft Utera Necreum, which I haven't really since, set, dropped, set 6. Best card in this pack is Bitterfrost Totem or Torgmai Guardian, and since I already have a Sporelord, Torgmai Guardian is really, really big, because I'm already going to be wanting to prioritize plants, so grabbing this Torgmai Guardian, which is a really decent plant. I didn't even realize until recently it was a 19/19 in rank 3. And yeah, it's better. I can pick up removal spells at any time, even though Bitterfrost Totem, I think, is the best one in the set. I'm just going to take the Guardian. And these cards are pretty bad. Gloomspire Worm is, kind of you hope to draw it on turn 1 when you're on the play. Legion Titan's okay against Darkforged, but it's not even really that good since it's so small. And Rot Wanderer is also actually pretty decent against Darkforged. It kills small things. It actually might be the pick. I think Rot Wanderer is more consistent than Gloomspire Worm, because Gloomspire Worm is actually just kind of bad if you don't draw it on turn 1, so we'll take the Rot Wanderer. And I actually like Grapplevine over Runescarred Zombie, which seems weird, but Runescarred Zombie is very small and requires you to play a lot of spells, which I don't recall there being amazing spells in these color combinations. Just like the boons, the Blood Boon and Blood Bindings. I think those are the best spells in this format. Like, there's no Dejin Siphon to make Runescarred Zombie insane and stuff like that. And Grapplevine is a plant, and it stops a lot of mobility decks. There's a lot of mobility in the format. Like, every time I draft Grapplevine, I'm a little happy with it. Of course, that said, I'm not going to go insane and draft 2 when I can have an Earthsign Strength, Cavern Slime, Shard Witch, or Ranger. Witch is definitely the worst. I don't want to... There's no reason to play Dark Forge just for Dark Shard Witch. Even though I am in the color for Dust Camera, I'd rather have the Dust Camera first. Werewood Range is a really, really decent card. Scale's super its body is just decent, but having the ability to give other creatures +2/+2 or +3/+3 ranks 2 and 3, that's huge. It is a common though, so I could expect to see more, and I really, really like Earthsign Strength. It's very strong with all the random region creatures that you see in Necreum, such as Cavern Slime, which I'm not going to take here because I don't really have anything to work with it right now. So I'm going to take the Caverns, or the Earthsign Strength, I mean. And then if a Torgmai Mender or something rolls around, I can start taking those in Cavern Slimes, because I've already got the plants with the Guardian and the Sporelord. So Torgmai Mender's not even the worst. Dendrify is actually really good in this deck. Uh, Previously, it made a 6/6, which just made it like a super good removal spell at rank 2 and 3. But now at rank 1, it makes a 7/7, which means I usually use it on my own creature to make a 7/7. And then with Sporelord, you can actually copy the 7/7, and you have a bunch of 7/7s. And then later in the game, it just becomes a really good removal spell. My other pick would be like Twin Strength or Dryad's Boon. Probably leaning towards Dryad's Boon because I like it a little more. But these Necroom cards aren't really worth taking. So I'll just take the Dendrify here. And I think my internet's frozen. No, there we go. Wow, these cards are bad. Zithian Host is unplayable. Verdant Grace is mediocre. Actually, it's bad. And Verdant Sphere, I like more than Verdant Grace, but it's still not worth picking. Blightskull Phantasm is a decent card. It's a 5/6 at rank 1 with, it's basically vanilla, but it does sometimes kill a creature. So it's worth picking for just that. Raleigh Symbiote's one of my favorite Necrom creatures in this format. 5/5 with regen 2. When you put it in front of something that's a 10/10 at rank 2. That's the kind of value I like seeing. I'm going to take the Spirit Bloom Dryad over the Stranglevine Hydra. I think they're pretty close. Hydra's pretty small at rank 2 and 1, which I don't like. Spirit Bloom Dryad's small at rank 3, but it does have 6 power at rank 1, so that gives it the edge to me. Not a lot of good cards in this set, or this pack. The Bear Rider is a decent underdrop. Once you rank it up once, you never need to play it again, unless you need to kill something that's level 3, because it's got 16 power at rank 2, which is huge. I think that's like the most of a level 2 card, especially a common. But it doesn't scale very well after that, because it only goes to 18, and it doesn't live from any sort of combat. So it's just really good as a Suedo removal spell. Shadeclaw Zombie, I think, is what I'm going to take here, because it has regen. It's decent size at rank 2 and 3. Not amazing, but decent. And if I pick up any Darkroot Shamblers, which is a plant, Darkforged, that's going to be really good for me. So let's go ahead and take the Shambler here, and these cards are pretty bad. Vyrix Embrace is an okay removal spell. I don't like it because it scales horribly. Like Bitterfrost Totem, for instance, is -4/-4 at rank 1, then -9/-9 at rank 2. I don't remember. It's just way better than -6/-6 and +6 health. Like, the health does matter sometimes, and it keeps you in the game. So it's a decent card. It's just a bad removal spell. Like, it doesn't really kill what you want it to every time. I could see taking the Spider or the Mender here. I'm going to take the Mender because I have Guardian and Sporelord. Plus, if I pick up Cavern Hydras, or Cavern Serpents, Cavern Slimes, that's the thing. The 6/2 with regen 6. Mender works really well with that guy. So I'd rather have Mender than a Crypt Slime, or a Crypt Spider, whatever that card was. I'm really bad at names. And then this card's kind of blank. It's in between the Bear Rider and the Cavern Slime. Bear Rider being a decent card you have to level, and Cavern Slime being an awful card that you have to pump. But when you pump it, it's actually kind of insane. So I'm just gonna take the Slime and hope I get lucky. I could take the Prowler to try and be aggressive. I don't really like Prowler that much. Lightbringer Cleric's just like an anti-Volcano Giant, not really worth talking about a whole lot. Featherfang has 12 power rank 2 though, and is a dinosaur, so if you see a Mastodon, if I see a Mastodon somewhere, I can pick that up, and Featherfang gets a little more valuable than Lightbringer Cleric or Deep Branch Prowler would. And I don't really like Corpse Crawler, but I think it's way better than Glowhive Siren. This pack is not good. I could take the Bright Tusk Sword to work with my Hydra or my Crawler. I've got pretty much nothing else in the way of that. I think I'm leaning towards Darkshard Witch, because if I get a couple Darkroot Shamblers, that gives me 4 Darkforged, which is a pretty decent number. And Bright Tusk Sword does not have a huge amount of utility. Like, it makes a Seedling, so I can copy it with Spoilord, but that's whatever, honestly. The most things Sword would do would be being a decent creature and giving me something to sacrifice to Scourge Hydra or Corpse Crawler. So I'm just going to take the Darkshard Witch to pump my Shadeclaw Zombie and hope I can pick up some Shamblers. And also, this pack is a decent reason why I hate drafting Necreum. Like, once you get to about halfway through the draft, we're at pick 15 right now, you can see these creatures are all awful. Like, Zithian Host is unplayable, Graveghast is very bad, Fellwalker is bad, and Necrotic Worm is also really bad. Like, the creatures in Necreum are really awful. You have to you have to pretty much grind through the games or rely heavily on your other color in order to get through these Necreum drafts. It's kind of painful, but we'll take the Dark Shard Witch and hope for some good luck. Like, whew, Werewood Patriarch. What do I have that works with it right now? I have Rot Wanderer, Grapplevine, Spore Lord, and Minder. Not too much, but it also works with any under-leveled thing once it hits level 2, because it pumps anything with 5 power greater, which is half my deck right now. And it's way better than Gemhide Ravager, which is the next best card in the pack. So Patriarch it is. That's a pretty good pick too. The Patriarch is really good for me. And Werewood Ranger is pretty easy pick here. I actually like Demonoid Watcher just because it has pretty decent size. It stops you from dying to Ashurian Brawler, or not Brawler, Ashurian Mystic and Gemhide Basher. But Werewood Ranger is way better, has way more utility. I already have a Featherfang. Shardblade Delver is not that great, but if I get a pump spell, it's worth protecting, especially if I get like a Dark Heart Conjurer or Blood Bindings, something like that makes Shardblade Delver unstoppable. And take the Cavern Slime over the Graveghast, because higher upside. Do I have any zombies right now? I think I have Shadeclaw Zombie, and that's it. I think Zerath is still really worth taking here. Like, I'm comparing it to Gnarly Symbiote or Feather Venomfang. If we compare it to Venomfang, Venomfang's a removal spell. It's a small creature. It's decent at what it does. It's not fantastic. Gnarly Symbiote's kind of the same way, but we can more directly compare it against Zerath. They've got the same amount of regen at every rank, except for rank 3. Zerath has 8 regen at rank 3, and Symbiote only has 6. But you have to put Symbiote in front of a creature for good regen. And Zerath is bigger at ranks 1 and smaller at the other 2 ranks. But it does give every zombie you control regen. So I think Zerath is just better than Gnarly Symbiote because of that. And I have the choice between Ursine Strength, or Minder. I don't think Pterodon Rex is really what I want to be doing. It's too small. And plus I think this pick's actually kind of difficult. With the Ursine, I have 2 Cavern Slimes. So Ursine Strength makes a lot of sense with the slimes and, making all my creatures bigger. Minder is better with Spore Lord and the Guardian, plus it works well with Cavern Slime. But it's a little less flexible than Ursine Strength and doesn't scale nearly as well because it's only like a 5/8 rank 2. So we're just going to take the Ursine Strength. Pretty easy pick, I think. I could take Toxic Boon for like a Suedo removal spell. It can give a creature poison 3 and plus 3/3 to something. Which helps me pump my Cavern Slimes and poison their creatures. But I think I actually want Nrali Ooze. Because it gives me something to do with my Scourge Hydra and my Corpse Crawler, which I don't really have anything to do with right now. Corpse Crawler is basically going to be sacrificing a full creature or like a really damaged creature. And I'd much rather sacrifice a Nrali Ooze and put a 4/4 or something into play like that. Plus, it actually scales pretty well. At rank 2, it's a 4/4 that puts a 7/7 into play. That's 11 points of power and health right there. And I really like Cavern Serpent. It's one of my favorite cards. However, it's probably worse than Deep Branch Prowler if I have 2 Ursine Strengths, so I'm going to take the Deep Branch Prowler. Bramble Axe Warrior is a decent card with 6 power, can give you Breakthrough for the win. If I had like another pump spell, like a Blood Bindings, or a Blood Boon, I'm sorry, the green one, I'd probably take the Ossuary Spirit because I have 2 Ursine Strengths, and if I would have a Blood Boon, I would actually be able to like take over a game with Ossuary Spirit. But I don't have that, and it's pretty much a dead draw now, so I'm just going to take the Bramble Axe Warrior. Zithian Tormentor is not a card I get to see very often. I don't think it's very good in my deck, because I have a Spore Lord and a lot of plants. I don't really want to kill them all, just have a 12/16 or 6/10 into play. And if you draw it later in the game, it's significantly worse, because it starts killing all your creatures, and it's usually higher. The Tormentor is usually lower level than your other creatures, because it's harder to play. So I'm just going to take the Minder to work with my slimes. Vigor Leech gives regen, right? Yeah, I think Vigor Leech might be the pick here. Like my other pick is Demon Web Watcher or Corpse Crawler. I don't have anything to sacrifice Corpse Crawler and use, so I don't want to take the Corpse Crawler. Spirit Balloon Dryad I don't want because it's not that great. It doesn't scale very well. I already have one of them. I think I want the Vigor Leech. It's not a great removal spell. It's actually a pretty bad removal spell. It's only 3/6/9. However, can double as a regen granter, which works well with my Anything I bump with Patriarch, a lot of my big plans, Torque My Mender, it just works. And Shardblade Delver gives me a little bit. It's not great as a source of regen, but having the flexibility is nice. I'm primarily picking it as a source of removal. I think I don't want a third Mender. I'd rather have an ally symbiote. It's a decent creature that works really well with pump spells, and I already have 2 Earthsign strengths. And I take the Bramblewood Axe Warrior. Actually, Oxen Spitter might be better than Bramble Axe Warrior because there's a lot of creatures with armor in this set. Notably, Flow Steel Carrier gives any robot armor, so I think Oxen Spitter is actually better than the Warrior here. And these cards are both horrible. This one scales a lot better. It's a 14-17 rank 3, whereas Zithian Host is a 9-5. So I'll take the Glow Hive Siren. And sweet. That's it for the draft. Now let's go find a teammate and fight them.